Hello everyone, my name is Loco and welcome to some more StarCraft 2 A Legacy of the Void. Today I'm playing another live game for you, and this time around it is going to be a Zerg vs Zerg played on the Frozen Temple. And that means that there is a bit of a chance that my opponent is gonna go for cheese, because I'm not going for it, but obviously Zerathul's bud, apparently he's a buddy of Zerathul. That doesn't really make a whole lot of sense if he's considered to be a Zerg player. Although, I don't want to spoil the Heart of the Swarm storyline, I guess, but either way, it takes two to play that game, obviously. I want to be going for a macro-focused strategy here. Generally speaking, that's what I've been playing, or that's what I'm playing in most games. Obviously, there may be a chance that there's going to be some Zergling aggression and we may have to defend against potential early game cheese, but no matter what, I'm going to go for a hatchery first here. A little bit greedy, but one of the things that I've noticed from the DreamHack Valencia tournament just a couple of weeks ago is that all of the Zerg players were going for a 17 hatch, 17 pool, 17 gas in the ZVZ matchup. And apparently, it's supposedly a safe way to defend against the early game aggression when your opponent is gonna go for cheese, as long as you get them in that order on every single map. And you know, they were all doing it. They were all doing it in the exact same order at the exact same timing, so there must be a good reason for it. And generally speaking, when pro gamers are doing certain moves, it's good to ask questions, but it's not really a great idea to doubt their moves, so to say. So, I have been copying that quite a little bit as well. Obviously, that will be delaying your Zergling speed a little bit, because you're not quite gonna get it as early, but it will allow you to defend against the early game aggression a little bit easier. Anyhow, I got my next Overlord already underway. I want to make sure that I get my Queen started here as soon as possible, and I haven't seen any Zerglings move out across the map yet. We should have already seen them if he was planning to go for cheese, so I think all things considered, we're going to be in a good spot. Now, in the middle part of the game, I am planning here on going for a bunch of roaches. Roaches seem to be my go-to strategy, in particular on maps like this. I have been playing a little bit of Muta, a little bit of Muta versus Muta as well, which is great and it's fine and dandy and all that, but I just seem to prefer the roach style instead, and it feels like both of them are viable. You see both of them at the pro scene anyway. Got my first Zerglings roaming the map. Do need to make sure that I get a quick third base out as well. I'll be getting it after my Baneling Nest, which we'll be getting very shortly. There we go. Gonna put it in the front. Get another Overlord here as well, and we'll see if we can do a little bit of scouting with the units that we have so far. Not seeing any expansion timings by him just yet. Is that a Baneling Nest? Oh, that's an Evo Chamber. Okay. So my opponent may very well be going for a relatively greedy or relatively aggressive moves. There are two queens here at the front though, so he probably got an extra queen. That will likely indicate that he's not planning on going for something super aggressive. I don't think he wanted to make an extra queen or pull the one from the main base just to miss an inject. That wouldn't make any sense. So I'm pretty sure that if he wanted to go for any kind of super early game aggression, and say he wanted to go for +1 melee, he wouldn't have been pulling that second queen to the natural. Doesn't really make a lot of sense. Either way, I'm gonna be making some defensive Zerglings right now that I can be attacking with as well, now that my third base has gone up. And very shortly, once I can, I obviously will be putting up my own evolution chamber as well. Now, if he is going full aggression, I'm a-okay with that. I am going to be a-okay with that. I got a whole bunch of Lings moving across the map now. I can easily take out that unit there. That one queen. Before it can kill my, my own units. I know there's still a Baneling out there, so we'll go ahead and target fire it down. And we'll see what we can kill, right? Like, I'll take whatever I can get. He doesn't have Link Speed done yet, so he may very well be focusing on roaches. He also could be focusing on super early +1 attack. Not seeing it just yet. But any trading here is fine for me, as I will more than likely be able to pick up the third base as a follow-up here as well. I got my third queen, just about to pop, then we'll be headed towards the third base, and my Roach Warren is underway right now as well. Still gotta be careful though. I know he got that early Evo, right? It doesn't make a lot of sense to not spend it on anything, right? Oh, wow. That's a very peculiar move there. You know what? I'm just gonna leave. I have no desire to be there. Maybe I should have done some scouting, actually. I should have sent a couple of links around the base. Doing it once again. Okay, not seeing any lair yet, so I'll make a big round of drones. Just made a big round of drones there. And I'm also gonna be adding in 2 more gases, which I should be able to, use Ooh, ooh. There we go. Should be able to use right about right now. Obviously getting extra gas in, you know, Legacy of the Void, generally speaking, is not that bad when you're going Lynx. Although he's going for a lot of aggression. I've been making roaches here for the last couple of seconds though, so I think we should be okay. I did skip out any kind of Baneling play. Or any kind of Spinecrawler play. You know what? I'll pull the queens to the front here as well. Okay. Very good. Huge connections there for me. And it looks like we've held on. It looks like we have successfully held on. Oh man, actually there was another explosion just now, but I think I didn't kill too much. We get the second Evo chamber here too. And I think it is nearly time for us to start droning. Now he's throwing away a lot of units for free, which is fine by me. We'll have to start some injects here again as well though. Oh man, that's bad. That's actually a whole bunch of workers that I just ended up losing. He's going for a lot of aggression. Surprisingly, because generally speaking, you don't really see any aggression after the initial bunch of links. But it's actually working out brilliantly for him. Because he does have that +1 melee upgrade here. Okay, I'm still making drones. I lost a whole lot more than I should have, to be completely honest with you guys. A little bit of a sloppy mistake there by me. Definitely allowing him a solid lead as far as worker goes. Still making more workers. I gotta get some decent saturation here. Just a couple more. You don't need full saturation in order to support this kind of thing. But we do need at least, you know... We do need at least a solid amount. Generally speaking, you're looking for about 2.5 base saturation. Something like that seems to be good. Anyway, since I am going double upgrades, I do want to move out in a little bit here too. Ideally, I actually would have moved out right now that upgrades are finishing. No particular reason not to. So what I'll do actually, this is a bit of a strange timing now, and this is where the game becomes a lot more tricky. But I'll make a bunch of units, and then move across the map. I think the army that I have right now is reasonable. Okay, here we go. Got a couple of Ravages in here. We got a reasonably strong army. Now this is good for me. He doesn't seem to have a whole lot. Plus he didn't really have a whole lot of scouting here either. Which is a good indication for me. Oh man, once again though. Huge amount of counter-attacking by my opponent. Really allowing him to be in a great position as far as that goes. Okay, we'll try and nuke down the third. Obviously I'm dealing with as much of the aggression here as possible by losing as minimal workers as, you know, as I can. Okay, you guys stay right there. Actually, no, you guys can also run across now, as there are only so many units that he has. And I mean, to be honest, we sniped the third, right? We sniped the third base, which is great for us. Should be able to pick up a nice little lead with that, and I think we lost minimal amounts of workers while that was going on. This map has so many alleyways to attack from that it always gets a little messy. He doesn't look like he's transitioning in towards Mutas though. Muta transitions, generally speaking, show up a little bit earlier. You know what, I'll just make one spine there. Just because I need to save up a bunch of gas here anyway. As a matter of fact, I'll go ahead and take another gas geyser in the main base, but I want to be getting at least, you know, some heals here. Oh man. Is he actually gonna fight this? I don't think you want to do that, dude. I mean, I don't want to brag, but my army is pretty sizable right now. He's been harassing like a champion though, so far. But I think we just simply got too much. I mean, I droned up greedier than he did. And at this point in the game, there's fights at 2 different angles. Does he have roach speed? It doesn't look like it. And we do pick up the victory. Nice. Alrighty, so here we are in the replay. Now, oftentimes I get the question of how you should be microing 2 fights at once. And in this particular case, I obviously was pushing into his third base while also actually dealing with the aggression at home. He was fighting my third, he was fighting my natural, and I was fighting across the map. Now, many of you may have noticed that I don't do this perfectly either. I have a way that works reasonably well, but if you watch the pro gamers replays clearly, they will be simply just hotkeying their army to different hotkeys. So for example, their main pushing force is going to be hotkey 1, and their reinforcements, which they're going to use for defense, is going to be hotkey 2. They just simply put them on different hotkeys. Now that's something that I have been trying, but it's obviously not very easy. So this is where the game gets tricky, right? First and foremost, what should I try and improve upon here? Well, notice, right now, if you look at my vision, I am completely blind of these Zerglings, and I'm also completely blind of those. There is no reason why I should not have Overlords, at least in the locations that I'm pinging on the map right now. These locations are crucial. It's a little sloppy by me, and it could have cost me the game. Now, in this particular instance, I am moving across the map, and the way I'm actually dealing with the aggression is by using the camera hotkeys. But honestly, I probably could have prevented taking any damage by either, well, first off, using my camera hotkeys a little bit, or using my overlords to just simply, control a little bit better and therefore get things done. And secondly, I should just be hotkeying the reinforcing army, right? But honestly, I should have taken any damage whatsoever. But the way I'm flipping between my bases is just by simply using camera hotkeys. So early on into the game, I set up my main base as my F1 hotkey. I set up my second base as my F2 hotkey, and my third base as my F3 hotkey, and so forth, right? If we have a fourth base, I'll migrate it. I'll bind it to Shift plus 4 or Shift plus F4, which is going to be my create location hotkey, and then I jump to it by using F4 hotkeys once again. And that's the way I've been defending here. So while I was fighting over here, right, you may have noticed that I was quickly pressing F3, control clicking the cocoons that were morphing in. I was manually binding those towards the mineral line. Same goes for the natural. I was just simply trying to get the reinforcing units that were building for a little while to pop out in the bases where they needed to be defending. And honestly, that has been working out really, really well for me in these matchups. And while it isn't perfect, it may at the very least help a couple of you out. And other than that, I want to thank you all for watching. Have an amazing day. Do not forget to smile, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!